Welcome to another edition of Here's Why. My name is Jimmy Talbert, and today we're going to do something kind of fun. We're going to be going through different social media marketing trends that we're forecasting for 2021. So I hope you enjoy this. Now, as you're watching this, make sure that you like this video, subscribe, and follow this on whatever social media platform you are watching this on. So, trend number one, content marketing. Content is king. And specifically in 2021, we're forecasting that short form content is going to be absolutely huge. So in the past, long form content was always really popular and people would consume an hour video, an hour webinar, things like that. Anymore, they're wanting to be drawn in a short period of time. You're seeing this a lot on TikTok, and you're seeing other social media platforms actually follow suit with this throughout the end of, or as we've neared the end of 2020, and as we go into 2021, you're going to see this even more. So the main key here is in 30 seconds or less, can you grab your audience's attention, draw them in to consume that content, and then potentially more of the rest of your content. And so what I like about this is that if you can master this skill of drawing someone in 30 seconds or less, then what will happen is you'll become a better marketer. You're going to create better long form videos because you're going to be able to draw them in and hold their attention. 2021 social media marketing trend number 2, advocacy. Advocacy has always been important, and I've talked about it for years as I've spoken about lifecycle marketing. But advocacy has become even more important throughout 2020, and you've seen different consumers and different people gravitate towards brands in their virtual communities. All the chaos associated with 2020 almost forced us into this position because of the quarantine and things like that. So businesses and brands that are able to build a virtual community on social media have been more relevant and more important, and they will continue to be more relevant and important as we move through 2021. 2021 social media marketing trend number 3, live video. It was crazy to see how live video absolutely exploded in 2020, and it will continue through 2021. Instagram Live and Facebook Live became really something that people were drawn into while they were in quarantine. And at this point, audiences have been conditioned to turn to those things as they're scrolling through social media and as they're looking at their phones or their computer or whatever. It's something that is really kind of cool because audiences appreciate the authenticity of these different brands as they bring these kind of raw videos to their audiences. 2021 social media marketing trend number 4, social commerce. It's becoming easier and easier to sell online without your buyer ever having to leave their social media experience. An example would be we helped a few of our clients create automated chatbots that walked people through a personalized process to where it was able to offer them things that they could buy directly through Facebook Messenger. Another example would be Instagram Shops. What I love about this is you don't have to be a global brand to be able to sell through Instagram Shops. It makes it easy for your buyers. It's a platform that people are trusting more and more, and you're going to see that trust grow throughout 2021. 2021 social media marketing trend number 5, personalization. And I mean this primarily for advertisers. It's becoming easier and easier to target your ideal client and get a timely and targeted message to them, and then retarget to them based on exactly where they're at in your funnel. You can tell the businesses that are doing this well because it's almost become scary how much they can target specifically their market and know exactly where they're at in the funnel and get the right message to them at the right time. As we move into 2021, you're going to see this more and more, and the brands that do it right are going to benefit and are going to grow, and the brands that don't are going to fall short. These are the 5 different trends that I have identified for 2021. If there's one that I missed, make sure that you include that in the comments, and I'd be happy to make a video about that as well. So in our next segment, we're going to get in with Mr. Dom Fawcett, executive coach and leadership speaker. He's the CEO of Think, React, Lead, and I'm going to get his opinion on each of these 5. Stay tuned. All right, so I asked my friend, Mr. Dom Fawcett, to come in. Dom is the CEO of Think, React, Lead, and he is an executive coach and leadership speaker. And his company does absolutely incredible on social media. So I wanted to get your opinion on the trends that I'm predicting for 2021, and let me know what you think. So let's start with content marketing. So do you see that as being something that's really important, and specifically in short form video? Kind of how do you see that going?
It's going to be the wave of the future, and I don't have a crystal ball nor can I see into the future, but when you do things long enough, like you and I have, we're able to see kind of what trends are. And you and I both know that people's attention spans are very, very short.
Oh, it's crazy.
One thing Instagram just started doing, I say just because I just found out about it a couple weeks ago, it's probably been going on for some months, but people's short videos, longer than 2 minutes, but I would say shorter than 10, commercials have started to pop up in their videos.
Okay.
Yeah, so that tells me that, and I've started doing this probably 6 months ago, keep my videos outside of the radio show between 2 minutes and 7 minutes. Even my podcast I've learned to keep short. Why? Because there's a million people that try to do what we do.
Yeah.
But people's attention spans, it has to be short but consistent. So not just one video every week, but I don't know what you suggest, but I tell people at least a video a day.
Yeah, no, I encourage the same thing. But we do a lot of we record one and then break it up into several segments. That way, if someone only has a minute or whatever, they can watch that, hopefully get something from it, and then ideally that social media platform will start recommending your videos to them as well. So
you guys do well doing or I've seen your videos where you do 7 videos at once, and then you post one like every day or every other day, so it leads the viewer. Oh, what's the next one? What's the next one? So that's key as well. Is that what they call that?
Yeah, or a season.
Series, season. Yeah. Season it. Go ahead. Anyways.
But yeah, so if your goal is to post a video that grabs someone's attention and draws them in 30 seconds or less, what are some tips that you can give for those?
I think if we start doing the video without thinking about drawing the person's attention in, especially if you're just getting started, get to know you on camera. One thing I do is every single video, welcome to Think, React, Lead. I'm your host, Dom Fawcett, executive coach and leadership speaker. That lets people know the name of my company, my name, which that's my brand, and what it is they're going to see. A lot of people, when they start doing videos, they lose their audience. Hey, and this is one thing you and I don't do, and we talk about it off camera. Okay, so one of the things we're going to talk, done. Person's done watching, unless you've built the audience. Get to the point, have high energy, and then I like storytelling. I'm talking like very short, like a 30-second story.
Yeah.
Right? People like to hear that you messed up. One of the things my wife hates about what I do is, boom. Right? People can relate to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that advice. I like the don't worry about drawing them in real quick right away if you're new to video.
People overthink that.
If you've been doing video for a while, you're comfortable with it.
It's a concern.
Yeah, then then get on it and start working on different ways to draw people in. I always just test differently.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Yeah, one of the ways I used to draw people in a lot, especially when I did live webinars, was I'd say, all right, I know that we have people registered from all around the world. Let's go ahead, just enter into the chat where you're calling in from, and I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna do some shout outs. So it'd go through and New York, Florida,
Texas.
Yeah.
Not that you have to say it that way. And that works great on a webinar because you already have a captivated audience, especially with your content.
Well, and what I was trying to draw them, the reason I was trying to draw them in is how much people were doing the automated webinar things and pretending they were live.
Right.
I wanted to let people know,
out.
hey, this is live. I'm calling out Dom Fawcett from Phoenix, Arizona.
Right.
So people seem to like that.
And what I have found, what works on Monday might not work on a Tuesday,
that's
or might not work on a Friday. What works on Friday at 9 a.m. might not work Friday at 10 p.m. I've noticed that, this was on accident. So my son's at home because of COVID and homeschooling stuff. Now he has to be there. People love just raw interruptions. I've told my son, I don't care what questions, just come into the camera. And my son will literally just walk into the camera, and people don't encourage them to do it because it seems unnatural. But people like seeing the real side of the person and we'll talk about that later, that's doing the video.
Yeah, absolutely. So trend number 2 that I'm predicting for 2021 is advocacy is going to be absolutely critical. And I talked a little bit in the monologue about how important it's become, especially with all the chaos that has existed in 2020. Right. I think we can all agree it's been a chaotic year.
A little bit.
And so with all the chaos, people are turning to certain brands, and when a brand represents something, doesn't have to be a social issue. It can be though. Whatever that is, depending on your brand and how you want things represented. Build a community.
Very true.
Just yesterday I was on the phone with a gentleman who has the biggest Facebook real estate community in the country.
Okay.
And talking to him about different things, and he obviously jumped on that trend way earlier than a lot of people, but it's paying off in dividends now for him.
Right.
Because he has that, not just with his real estate business, but he's been able to diversify his earnings and his business into different things because of his success there. So build a community and create advocates of your brand. Next one, I know is something you're going to be excited about, live video.
Love it. Love it. Let me just real quick touch on advocacy.
Oh, sorry.
The way that you stay in your lane, right? I talk about leadership and confidence. That's kind of my thing. Mm-hmm. The mistake that a lot of people make is they focus on who am I entertaining, who am I engaging, who's going to like my videos. Just stay in your lane. 'Cause I'm sure the real estate guy, he doesn't talk about cars. He doesn't talk about vacationing, right? Global travel. He talks about real estate. People know what to come to him for, but you said live video.
Sorry, I didn't.
No, you're good.
Didn't ask your opinion. I just went off on my own.
Hey, no, that's totally fine. as you should. Not so much.
But yeah, live video. So you do probably more live video than anyone that I know. There might be one other person that I know that does more than you, but you do a lot.
I have to.
Even when I text message you, you reply with a live video of you speaking the response. So, talk to us about why you think live video is important, why you think that'll be a continuous
First,
trend.
let's talk about the text. I've learned I like to text respond people with a live video just because I think it's more personal. Because everybody messages, everybody texts and reads, but I do a live video because most people that I talk to are afraid to be on the camera. And it's in the moment, no matter what. I can be in the grocery store with my wife, out, and it doesn't matter, I do it. Anyways, live video. I started doing live video with my phone, and what I've learned with technologies, not specific to live video, but it grows. Like, you have to adapt very, very quick. So if you've been using your phone for live video, invest in a camera, right? Or come to a studio and do a live video if you have the ability to do that. But what I have found is that the crispness and clarity that I get from doing live videos with my Sony a6400, I get more engagement than I do when I'm using my phone because people compare that look to television.
That's, and at the same time, I think that there's something to be said still about the phone thing.
Oh, yeah.
And the rawness of it.
Oh, yeah, people like it.
It's you mix it up. You don't have all of one thing or another, I think.
That gets boring.
More of the point there.
Right.
And if you're always holding your phone this way and recording it or it's in a stand, try it that way a little bit. Try it, and on your cameras, try different angles. Try moving at times during a live. That's another thing.
I just ordered this belt strap thing that has an arm that comes out to about, let's say, 1.5 feet off my chest, so I can put my phone in it, so I can walk around the house or wherever I'm at doing a live video and use both hands, and you don't see the strap. You don't see the apparatus.
Yeah, exactly.
That's attached to my torso.
Yeah.
Torso? Torso?
Absolutely. It must be on the torso.
But that's just, it's a cheap device, $60, $70, but that's something different because if you use camera all the time, then people get accustomed to clarity and you never use your phone. Again, just like you said, mix it up.
Yeah, I got ripped off one time. I got one of those that actually went around the neck.
Oh, I've seen that.
And it was like it just shot up my nose the whole time. So
yeah, nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, you got to have it out a little bit for sure. So the next one is social commerce, selling through social media. So I told in the monologue, told a story about how we set up a automated Facebook chatbot that walked people through, and it was dynamic too, where if they answered this way, then it would offer one thing. If they answered a different way, it would offer another. People are comfortable buying on social media.
Oh, they're very, very comfortable buying on social media. It's
wild. Because 5 years ago, definitely not.
2 years and a half.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID.
That's right. Yeah, it's become crazy, and all my clients who sell something online, or if you've had an online sales presence pre-COVID,
you're doing well.
Doing incredibly well. Yeah, I mean, by September they had their best year ever.
Okay.
And it's just about giving people the option. It doesn't mean you stop selling in person.
Right. It's just it's something else to do, or a different way of doing what you're already doing. But one thing I think people miss is they forget to sell. Right?
All the time.
The reason I start all my videos with "Welcome to Think, React, Lead. My name is Dom Fawcett, your executive coach and leadership speaker," is so people know that if I sell a book or an ebook on leadership or how to speak, they've already heard me say what I do so many times, so it sells itself. And one of the things that I'm doing next year is going to be different than I did in 2020 is I've got a packaging program that's all I'm going to push. That's it. I've seen influencers do it this year, and your guy is probably one of them. They've had their best year yet. So knowing what it is that you're going to sell, and just push that along with pushing testimonials, that's selling, right? Interviewing people that have used your product, that's selling. So there's just so many different ways to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. And being able to dial that in from education to the call to action, and progressing them through your sales and marketing funnel is what's absolutely critical. And this is just another way to do that I forecast will be even bigger next year than it was this year.
And the way to make that not work for you, like I stay away from the things that don't pay me. The 4 big things are race, religion, politics, and sports. Those don't put money in my pocket, right? I'm a black ex-cop. Like, you think I have a lot to talk about. I don't. Why? Because they don't pay me. I stay literally in my lane. Wide lane, but I stay there. So don't remove the emotion, and you'll build such a vast audience.
Yeah. Focus on, like I said, you lead them in with education, and then having those call to actions throughout the thing. And it's just a matter of, again, video a day. You have plenty of content to be able to do that. If you do 2 videos a year, you don't.
Not gonna get seen.
Yeah, you don't. Then you can just educate or just call to action. But if you don't have that following that you've built through the education, there's no one to call to action.
There it is. Very simple. Consistency wins, folks. People pay for consistency. All right, we'll go to the next one.
All right, personalization. This is something, again, during COVID that became absolutely huge, is in being able to advertise to people very specifically based on exactly where they're at in the funnel. On Facebook, for example, you can set up your pixels to where someone is when they hit your call to action page, it provides 1 pixel. When they hit your thank you page, there's another. If they make it to another page in your funnel, there's another benchmark. Right. And then you can have specific ads for retargeting ads based on exactly where they're at. Yep. Again, creating a timely targeted message.
It's that simple. I love personalization. I think it allows, I talked earlier about my son just kind of walking in to the camera, or even when my wife comes home and she forgets that I'm in my home studio and she just walks in, I converse with her, because everybody can relate to talking to somebody, right? This is how we exist. But you don't always have to be buttoned up like we are. You can, again, at the end of the day, it's really mixing it up and showing. I've done videos in my car. I've done videos basically from everywhere in the house except for the restroom, but for obvious reasons. But just switching it up and letting people know that you're a human as well. People buy from the human experience.
Yeah, humanizing not just your content, but your brand.
Yes.
Is I believe going to become that much more critical.
Huge. Yeah.
Throughout 2021. So, Anything else you'd like to add in closing?
Normally there is. I think we have given them so much information. Like, we provided in a very short, pretty buttoned-up package, but to do it takes a lot, so just do it.
Yeah, pick one or two things, get started with that, and then start building on the others. So if there's anything else that you feel like we missed, feel free to include it in the comments, and we'd be happy to make a video about it. So, yeah, I'm signing off. Jimmy Talbert.
Dom Fawcett.
Dom Fawcett. Thank you very much.
Ciao.